Morgan sat by the window, the late afternoon light painting her small room in gold and shadow. Outside, children laughed as they rode their bikes along the sidewalk. Their voices felt distant to her now, much like Riley's laughter had grown. Distant in her mind? Riley had moved 3 weeks ago, moved across the ocean, to a place Morgan could not visit for many months. Every day, Morgan felt a little more empty, as though a part of her had been carried away by Riley's departing car. She held her phone in both hands, staring at Riley's name on the screen. She wanted to call, to hear that familiar voice that made her worry feel smaller. But each time she tapped Riley's name, her finger froze. What would she say? I miss you so much I can't sleep. It all sounded too simple, too desperate. She feared Riley might think her feelings were a burden. Morgan closed her eyes and thought back to their last evening together. They had sat on the old dock by the lake watching the sun sink into the water. Riley had shared dreams of new friends, new foods, and new adventures. Morgan had smiled, but inside, she felt a cold knot of loneliness. She remembered the way Riley's eyes had shone in the sunset, and how Morgan had promised, no matter how far you go, we will always find a way to be close. Now that promise felt uneasy, like it might break under the weight of distance. She rose and moved to her desk, where a stack of notebooks lay. Morgan flipped one open and stared at the blank page. She wanted to write a letter, something real that Riley could hold, something more lasting than a text. Yet the words would not come. Morgan tapped her pencil against the paper, watching the lead grow shorter with each timid click. The room felt too quiet, too still. She missed Riley's energetic voice filling the air. A memory warmed her chest. The night they built a small telescope together to watch the stars, they had scrawled their names on the side of it, laughing when the paint dripped. One day, Riley had said, "We'll use this to explore real planets." Morgan had laughed too, but she had believed it. Humans had done amazing things, built cities and deserts, traveled to the moon, sent messages across space instantly. If humanity could bridge those distances, surely she could find a way to bridge the one between her and Riley. That thought sparked a small flame of hope. Morgan closed the notebook and gathered colored pencils, stickers, and glitter. She would make a letter that felt like the telescope, something to carry both their dreams. She sketched a tiny star map, drawing Earth in the new city where Riley lived, then connected them with a bright gold line. Around it, she drew little symbols, a shared music note, their favorite cookie, the two of them laughing together. As she worked, her sadness melted into purpose. Each sticker reminded her of a memory, a photograph of them at the carnival. A pressed flower Riley had given her, a doodle of the two of them in spacesuits. She wrote phrases in bold letters. Believe in us. Distance means nothing. Our friendship is stronger than any ocean. Her pencil moved with confidence now, laying down words of hope rather than fear. By the time the sun dipped below the horizon, Morgan held a letter that sparkled with color and sincerity. It was not perfect. Some lines wobbled, few stickers overlapped crookedly. But it was hers, a piece of her heart wrapped in paper. She smiled and folded it carefully, slipping it into an envelope decorated with tiny stars. Her finger hovered over the stamp. She could mail it tomorrow and wait for weeks until Riley wrote back. Or she could send a quick text tonight. Made you something? It has starlight in it. Hope it reaches you. It felt simple, but maybe simplicity was enough. Morgan typed the message, her heart fluttering like a small bird. Then she hesitated only a moment before pressing send. Her phone buzzed immediately. Morgan jumped and stared at the screen. Riley's reply glowed. Tell me more. I can't wait to see it. Morgan's chest filled with warmth. The distance between them had not shrunk yet, but the first bridge was built. In that moment, she knew that her hope could carry her across any ocean, and she was not alone. Emma woke early, the first light of morning creeping around her curtains. She sat on the edge of her bed and held her phone, staring at the empty message box for Sam's number. Sam had moved 3 months ago to another country, chasing a dream job in a city full of bright lights and new people. Emma felt a hollow ache in her chest each time she remembered the last hug they shared at the airport. She missed Sam's easy laugh and the way they talked for hours about everything and nothing at all. She tried to send Sam a text once, but her fingers hovered over the keys and then she deleted every word. "Hey, how are you?" Felt too small. "I miss you so much." Felt too heavy. Emma closed her eyes and remembered their promise. No matter the miles, they would stay as close as family. But right now, the miles felt like an ocean that swallowed her voice. After breakfast, Emma went to her desk and opened her journal. She wrote about her day, the small victories and tiny worries. She wrote about the way the sun glinted on the lake near her home, how the ice cream truck played a familiar tune that used to signal Sam's arrival. She sketched a small picture of the two of them under the big oak tree where they used to talk. The page filled with words and lines, but none of it felt like reaching out to Sam. Later, Emma walked to the local post office. She had an idea. Maybe a letter could carry her feelings better than a text. She picked out a large envelope and decorated it with stickers of stars and planets, a reminder of their shared dream to build a telescope one day. Inside, she folded several sheets of paper and began to write. She described the new cafe she discovered, the way the barista remembered her order, and how every time she drank her favorite coffee, she thought of Sam. She hesitated before writing. The next line, "I feel lost without you," because she wrote it anyway. Then she added, "I believe in us. I believe that no distance can change what we share." She folded the letter and slipped in a small pressed flower she had picked on her. Morning walk. At the counter, she weighed the envelope and paid for extra postage. The clerk smiled at her. Emma imagined Sam's surprise when they opened the mail. On the way home, Emma felt a mix of hope and fear. Would Sam read her letter right away? Would Sam even write back? She tried to remind herself of all the things humans could do. They could talk across stars through satellites. They could send tiny robots to explore Mars. They could store entire libraries in a device no bigger than her hand. If humans could do these wonders, then surely her small letter could travel across the world and bring Sam back into her life. That afternoon, Emma sat by the window again, watching for any sign of a reply. She opened her laptop and searched online. For a creative way to connect with Sam, she found a free app that let two people draw on the same digital canvas. She smiled at the thought. She quickly created a project and sent the link to Sam's email. A blank page waiting for them to fill together. Her phone buzzed before she even finished. It was an email notification. "Emma, I got your letter. I can't stop smiling. Let's draw together." Her heart lifted as she clicked the link. A white screen appeared with a message from Sam at the top. "I miss you too. Where should we start?" Emma selected a brush tool and began to sketch the oak tree they loved. She drew its twisted branches and rough bark in bold strokes. Sam's cursor appeared, traced the outline of a telescope leaning against the tree. Then Emma added Sam's favorite book on a small table beside them. They worked side by side. On the screen, inventing a peaceful scene that blended both their worlds. As they drew, they wrote little notes. "Remember this spot? I added the moon. Your turn to pick the color." By evening, their picture was complete, two friends sitting under a tree, a telescope ready, looking up at the stars together. Emma saved the artwork and sent it to Sam. She closed her laptop with a smile. The distance was still there, but she no longer felt alone. She had reached out, and Sam had reached back. That was the strength of humans. When the heart felt heavy, they found creative ways to connect. Emma climbed into bed with hope in her heart, ready to sleep knowing that tomorrow they would share another drawing, another memory, and another moment that no ocean could erase. Alex stared at the empty chair beside his desk, the one that used to hold Riley's open laptop during their late-night gaming sessions. Now the chair was cold and still. Riley had moved 6 months ago to a distant city to study medicine, leaving Alex to fill his evenings with silence. Every time he sat down, he felt a hollow ache, as though a part of himself had gone with Riley. He switched on his console and saw Riley's avatar still saved in his friends list. Alex navigated to the chat box and stared at the blinking cursor. "Hey," he typed, and then erased it. What more could he say? "I miss you" felt too simple, and "let's play later" Felt false without Riley there. He closed the chat without sending a message. Alex sighed and pushed away from the desk. He needed fresh air. He grabbed his shoes and walked outside into the cool evening. The sky was clear, stars blinking overhead. He paused on the sidewalk and remembered how he and Riley used to lay on the grass, tracking constellations with an old stargazing app. The memory warmed him. Humans could build space stations and probe distant worlds. People could invent those wonders. Surely he could invent a way to reach Riley's heart again. Back inside, Alex sat at his desk and opened a new document. He decided to write a friendship challenge, list 10 things for him and Riley to do apart but together, labeled it Project Together Apart. Typed the first challenge, watch the same sunrise, and send a photo. He smiled, imagining Riley's reaction. Challenge 2, cook your favorite childhood meal and video call while eating. Challenge 3, read the same book and share thoughts. With every line, Alex's spirits lifted. By the time he reached Challenge 7, build a playlist. Of 10 songs, 5 each, and share, he felt his sadness turning into purpose. He finished all 10 challenges, watching a full moon, drawing a doodle, writing a short poem, sending a small gift, and more. He saved the document and sent it to Riley's email with the subject line, "Can we try this?" Hours passed without a reply.
Ow.
Alex's chest tightened. Doubt whispered that Riley had moved on, made new friends, and forgotten him. He stood, up and paced, dead. But then he remembered something his grandmother had once told him. Humans are built to hope. Even when the path seems dark, our hearts light the way. He took a deep breath and set his phone aside until morning. Early the next day, Alex woke to a buzzing phone. His heart leaped. It was a message from Riley. Challenge accepted. Let's start with sunrise. Tomorrow, same time, I'll be there. Alex's grin felt like sunshine. He texted back, tomorrow at 6:15 a.m. Can't wait. He set his alarm and drifted back to sleep with a light heart. The following morning, Alex rose before dawn. He made a cup of coffee and stepped onto his balcony, phone in hand. The sky was just turning pink at the horizon. He snapped a photo of the glowing line between night and day and sent it. Within seconds, Riley's photo arrived, the same sunrise. Seen over a distant rooftop, framed by smoke rising from a bakery chimney, they texted excitedly, comparing the colors. Alex's sky had soft lavender. Riley's sky had deep coral. The small differences made Alex feel close to Riley again, as if they were under the same blanket of air and light. He watched the sun, edge up and thought, humans could split atoms and map human DNA, if we could do those miracles. Surely a shared sunrise could bridge thousands of miles. Later that day, Alex cooked his mother's special pasta recipe, the one Riley loved. It set up his laptop in the kitchen, video call ready. When Riley appeared on the screen, he was cradling a bowl of the same pasta his grandmother had taught him to make. They laughed at how similar and, yet how different their dishes looked. They ate together, sharing stories about the pastas. Taste, the spice of the sauce, and memories of long afternoons in Grandma's kitchen. By evening, they had completed 3 challenges. Alex felt his loneliness fading with every shared moment. He realized that distance could never destroy human creativity or empathy. They had found a way to be near, even when apart. That night, Alex sat back at his desk and added a new challenge to the list. Write a story together, alternating paragraphs. Sent it off with a message. Let's end with something only we can create. He closed his eyes, smiling. Hope glowed in his chest. No matter how far Riley had gone, their human bond built on trust, laughter, and imagination was stronger than any miles between them. And that was something worth celebrating. Lena stood in her empty kitchen, the morning light casting long shadows across the tiled floor. She reached for the mug Riley had given her for her birthday, its bright blue color now faded. Riley had moved halfway around the world 2 months ago to study art history. Lena felt a silent echo in every room without Riley's laughter. She held the mug close as if the weight of it could pull Riley back. Her heart ached with every small reminder of their life together. the coffee they shared, 8. The stories they told, the plans they made for weekend trips. Now those plans felt like echoes in an empty house. She remembered their last day together. They had walked through the crowded market, tasting fresh oranges and picking out colorful scarves. Riley had spun in place, brushing her hand through. The errand said, "This is our city. We'll always share it." Lena had smiled, but inside her chest had tightened. She had waved goodbye at the airport, waving until Riley turned the corner and disappeared. Lena tried to keep her promise that distance could not change their bond, but now each empty room tested her faith. Lena opened her phone and stared at Riley's name in her contact list. She tapped it, and a blank chat window appeared. She typed "Hey" and deleted it. She tried "I miss you," but it felt too small. She thought of sending a voice message, so Riley could hear her real voice. But Lena worried Riley was too busy with classes and new friends. Her finger hovered over the send button, then she locked her phone. She could not risk feeling ignored. The silence pressed in on her, making her chest feel tight. She pushed away from the counter and moved to her living room. On the shelf, she saw an old postcard she and Riley had bought on a trip to the coast. It showed a lighthouse standing tall against crashing waves. Lena picked it up and turned it over. She read the message they had written together: "Wherever we go, we light the way for each other." Suddenly, her sadness shifted. Humans had built lighthouses to guide ships through storms. They had invented telephones, built airplanes, and sent satellites into space. If people could send messages across oceans and stars, surely Lena could. Find a way to guide Riley back. A spark of hope lit inside her. Lena decided to create a digital lighthouse, a shared map of memories and dreams. She opened her laptop and found a free storytelling website. She created a private page titled Our Lighthouse. She added a photo of the market they loved, a painting Riley had sketched, and the postcard's image. Then she wrote a message. In bold letters, "This is our light. No matter where you are, we'll share these moments." Beneath it, she added prompts. Add your favorite photo. Write a memory. Share a dream. Her fingers flew over the keyboard. She uploaded a short video of her walking through the market, pointing out Riley's favorite fruit stand. She recorded herself reading their postcard message aloud. The page glowed with color and warmth. Lena smiled at her screen. She felt less alone knowing she had built something real, something Riley could hold in a browser anywhere in the world. She typed a short note to Riley. "Open this when you have time. I hope it reminds you of us." Then she clicked send. That night, Lena went to bed hopeful. She imagined Riley discovering the page and smiling. She dreamed of Riley adding her own memories, making the lighthouse shine even brighter. In her dreams, they stood side by side, watching the sun set over the ocean, the lighthouse beam pulsing like a heartbeat. The next morning, Lena woke to her phone buzzing. Her heart pounded as she unlocked it. There was a notification. Riley had joined the page. Lena hurried to her laptop. She saw Riley's first edition, a photo of the two of them laughing under a cherry tree in spring. Riley had written beneath it, "Here's us, in full bloom. Thank you for this light." Lena's eyes filled with tears of joy. She clicked on the comment box and typed, "I'm here. Always." She hit reply. In that moment, Lena felt the distance shrink. The empty kitchen no longer felt so lonely. Human hope and creativity had built a bridge across oceans and time zones. Lena closed her laptop, her heart full of light. No matter how far Riley had gone, their shared lighthouse would guide them back to each other stronger, brighter, and unbreakable. Jordan sat at the edge of the park bench, watching the leaves drift in the wind. His eyes felt heavy as he looked at the empty spot on the grass where Mara used to sit. She had moved to a distant city to work at a wildlife sanctuary. Every morning, Jordan felt a hollow ache when he remembered their long talks under this very oak tree. He missed her kindness, her laughter, and the way she made ordinary days feel bright. He reached into his backpack and pulled out his phone. Mara's name glowed on the screen, but Jordan did not press call. He worried her new life was too busy. He feared his voice would be only an unwelcome reminder of home. Instead, he scrolled through old photos, the two of them hiking at sunset. The silly faces they made with butterfly wings, the moment they released a rescued sparrow back into the sky. Each memory felt precious and painful. Jordan stood and walked, home along the winding path. He thought of humans' great inventions, roads across continents, ships that crossed oceans, messages sent in seconds across the globe. If people could do such wonders, surely he could find a way to reach Mara's heart again. He decided to send something tangible, something she could hold and see and feel whenever she needed a reminder of their friendship at home. Jordan opened his desk drawer and found an old camera he and Mara had used on their first hike. He dusted it off and tested the shutter. It clicked with a bright sound. He smiled. He would take new photos of the places they loved. Each picture would carry a memory and a message of hope. He hoped that when Mara saw them, she would feel close again, no matter the miles between them. Over the next few days, Jordan visited their favorite spots. He photographed the wildflowers by the stream, capturing dewdrops that glittered like tiny stars. He took close-ups of the oak tree's rough bark and wide branches, framing it against the sky. He even snapped a picture of the old swing set at the playground where they had once competed to see who could swing the highest. With each shot, he felt his sadness turning into purpose. Back at home, Jordan selected the best 10 photos. He printed them on glossy paper and arranged them in a small handmade booklet. On each page, he wrote a short note. Remember this day? I see you here. You laugh so loud. He decorated the pages with pressed flowers and little sketches of birds, symbols of freedom and return. The booklet glowed with color and warmth, a keepsake of their shared adventures. That evening, Jordan sealed the booklet in a sturdy envelope. He added a map of their city with a gold star marking the park bench. He wrote on the back, "Our friendship shines here." Then he bought international postage and dropped it into the mailbox. He felt a mixture of hope and fear, imagined Mara opening the envelope in her new room, the photos brightening her walls and her heart. 2 weeks later, Jordan sat again on the park bench, waiting for any sign of news. His phone dinged, and his heart jumped. It was a message from Mara. "Jordan, your booklet arrived today. I can't stop looking at it. I feel like I'm back at home." He read her words again and again, a smile lighting his face. Mara continued, "Thank you for reminding me of all our adventures. I have an idea to add my own. Let's make a shared photo project." Jordan's eyes brightened. He opened his laptop and clicked on the link Mara sent, a private online album just for them. Inside, she had uploaded pictures of the sanctuary where she worked. There was a photo of her feeding baby wildebeest, another of her releasing a rehabilitated fox. Under each image, she wrote notes about her new life and how she missed his company. She added, "Now it's your turn to see my world." Jordan spent the evening exploring Mara's photos. He replied with questions and encouragement. He took a new picture with his camera, the oak tree at dawn, its leaves glowing in the sunrise. He wrote beneath it, "This is for you, Mara. I carry our memories wherever I go." He uploaded it to their album, and instantly Mara's chat icon lit up. She sent a heart emoji and typed, "Thank you. I feel closer already." In the days that followed, Jordan and Mara added photos and messages back and forth. They built a virtual gallery of their shared world and their separate new lives. With each exchange, Jordan felt the distance shrink. He realized that humans created bridges of hope whenever they felt apart. Through creativity, memory, and simple acts of care, they could stay close, no matter where life took them. And Jordan knew their friendship, like the photos they shared, would last forever. Noah sat on the rooftop of his apartment building, legs crossed, eyes fixed on the sky. The stars were faint tonight, but he kept searching for the brightest one. It was something he and Lena used to do together before she moved to another country for her dream job at a space research station. Now, every night felt quiet. Every star a reminder of how far apart they were. They had promised to stay in touch. At first, messages came, often funny videos, random thoughts, photos of Lena's new lab. But as weeks passed, the replies slowed. Noah didn't blame her. She was busy, important, living the life she'd always dreamed of. But that didn't stop the ache in his chest whenever he opened his phone and saw their old messages, unread and unanswered. He picked up his phone again and scrolled through their chat. The last message he had sent said, "Saw Orion tonight. Thought of you. That was 12 days ago." No reply. Noah sighed and leaned back, the wind brushing softly against his face. He missed her laugh, the way she explained space like it was magic, and how she believed humanity could reach anywhere, even the stars. Now, she felt farther than the stars themselves. He wanted to reconnect, to tell her he still cared, still believed in their friendship. But every message he thought of sounded too simple or too needy. He didn't want to pull her back, he wanted to meet her where she was. Then, an idea sparked in his mind. Lena had once told him, "One day, I want to see the stars from both sides of the earth." It had been a silly dream, but she had meant it. Maybe he couldn't give her the stars, but he could share the sky from his side of the world. Noah stood and rushed inside, dusted off his old drone, small, but good enough, grabbed his phone, attached it to the mount, and walked back to the rooftop. The drone lifted with a soft hum, rising higher and higher until the lights of the city became dots below. He captured the view, the city lights, the horizon, and the moon rising through clouds. He whispered, as he recorded, "Lena, this is the sky from my side. Still waiting for you to look up at the same one." The next day, he edited the video, added soft music they both liked, and uploaded it privately online. He sent Lena the link with just one line, "Still under the same sky." Then he waited. A whole day passed, then another. Noah tried not to check his phone every few minutes, but his heart kept hoping. On the third night, he was about to turn in when his phone buzzed. It was a message from Lena, it said. I cried. I watched it 5 times. I've been feeling so far away from everything, especially you. Thank you for reminding me that we're still under the same stars. Noah smiled, his chest warm and full. She hadn't forgotten him. She had just needed a light, a small reminder that someone still cared, even from far away. That evening, Lena sent her own video, the view from her observatory clean white. Buildings against a dark mountain sky, the telescope moving slowly, and her voice saying, "This is the sky from my side. I miss sharing it with you." The two of them began sending short sky videos each week. Sometimes it was the stars, sometimes the clouds, sometimes just the sound of rain. But every time it brought them closer. It reminded them of the bond. They had not broken by distance, only paused. Noah realized something deep and powerful. Humanity always finds ways to connect. Through letters, radios, satellite sand, now tiny videos from rooftops and observatories. This was the heart of being human. No matter how far people moved, they found each other again. One day, Lena sent a message that made Noah's breath catch. "They offered me a short research trip back home. I said yes. I want to see you." Noah stared at the screen, barely believing. He typed back, "I'll be on the roof. Bring a blanket. We'll watch the stars." And when that night came, when Lena sat beside him once more under their shared sky, neither of them said much. They didn't need to. Their hearts had already crossed oceans, carried by hope, light, and the quiet strength of human connection.
Ow.
They looked up, side by side, and the stars finally felt close again. Maya sat alone at the old wooden bench near the train station. Her sketchbook rested on her lap, but the pages were still blank. Trains came and went, people rushed past her, but her eyes stayed fixed on the tracks, as if watching would somehow bring him back. Eli had left 3 months ago. He had gotten into a special engineering program in another city, a place full of labs, machines, and brilliant minds. Maya was proud of him. They had always dreamed of building amazing things together. But now, every time she picked up her pencil, her ideas felt empty without Eli beside her. She remembered the last time they had sat here, just before his train left. He had given her a small metal gear from his first robot and said, "This is a piece of us. Keep building, even if I'm not around." She had held on to that gear like it was treasure. It now lived in her jacket pocket, close to her heart. Maya looked at her sketchbook again. She wanted to draw something for Eli. She missed him every day, but didn't know how to tell him. She had tried texting a few times, but he only replied with short messages, "Busy with work. Class just ended. Talk soon." She told herself not to take it personally. It was building his future. Still, it hurt. She didn't want to be forgotten. She wanted him to know she still believed. In them still believed in the dreams they once shared. That evening, Maya walked back to her tiny apartment and opened her drawer. She took out all the old sketches they had made, together blueprints for inventions that never left paper. One caught her eye, a small robot with a screen for a face and arms that gave hugs. They had named it Buddy. Suddenly she had an idea. If Eli was busy building machines, maybe she could too. Maya spent the next 2 weeks gathering materials. She watched tutorials online, read beginner guides, and borrowed tools from her neighbor. She didn't have the experience Eli had, but she had something just as powerful: determination. Every night after school, she worked at her desk, wiring circuits, shaping the body, and programming simple code. It wasn't easy. The arms fell off 3 times, and the screen refused to light up. But she kept trying. Every mistake made her stronger. Every success gave her hope. At last, Buddy was finished. It was small, rough around the edges, and sometimes made strange noises, but it worked. The screen could show little faces, and the arms opened wide when it heard her voice. Maya laughed the first time it said, "Hug." She took a video of it and added a message. "Hey Eli, remember Buddy? I built it. I didn't wait for you, I started on my own. But I still hope we'll build something together again someday." Her hands shook a little as she hit send. Then she waited. A full day passed, then another. On the 3rd evening, as Maya sat quietly watching the sunset, her phone buzzed. It was a video message. Eli stood in a room filled with wires, motors, and half-finished machines. His hair was messy, and he looked tired, but he was smiling. "Maya, I can't believe you did it. Buddy looks amazing. You did what I couldn't. You kept going even when we were apart. You inspired me. I forgot why I started building things in the first place. It wasn't just about machines. It was about us. It's about dreaming together." Paused, then continued. "I've been so caught up here that I didn't see how much I missed our connection. Can we start again? I want to make something with you. Long distance project. We'll build something new together." Maya's heart felt full. She looked down at Buddy, who blinked its little screen and said, "Hug." She whispered, "Yes, we're back." From that day on, Maya and Eli worked together from different cities. They sent designs back and forth, shared late-night calls, and even named their project Reconnect. Right. It was a robot that brought people together, built from hope, teamwork, and the belief that distance couldn't break human bonds. Maya learned that sometimes people grow apart, but that didn't mean they stopped caring. Sometimes they just needed a reminder. And humans were good at finding reminders in letters, in robots, in the simple courage to reach out. She stepped outside that evening and watched the stars. Somewhere far away, Eli was watching them too. Maya knew no matter how far he was, they were building something bigger than machines. They were building trust again. That was what made humans strong. They never gave up on each other.